Well, hello, it's John Neal here again, Chalkboard Artist and sign writer. But today I'd like to talk to you about calligraphy, and calligraphy in particular with these pens. I came across these recently at an art show exhibition, and there was a lady using these who I'll give some details of and show some of her work, but they're called Pentel parallel pens, and these are the biggest ones you can get. These are the next size down, which are 3.8mm. These are 6. I'll use these today. You can see there are some of the sizes, but they are very clever in that they're a pen rather like this one, which you would dip in to ink, but they're better than that because they dip in to nothing at all, because they have a cartridge, and you can get a pack of cartridges of lots of different colours. So that's a red one, and this one is yellow, and I'll show you what you can do with them, because it's quite remarkable, fascinating stuff. I've done loads of work with them already. I'm using these two colours. They're just the 6mm size. They've got blue tops for the sizes, and so that you know which colour you've got, I put the colours on a bit of tape on the back end. And also, I was just fascinated, so I've had a play with them here, and you can see all the different colours you can use, different effects you can get, and I just couldn't stop doing it. This lady I was looking at was doing this mark in the middle, which I can also show you similar. But the effects you can get with a pen are beautiful, and there is somebody else on YouTube who does a whole lot of work in red, and they're absolutely fascinating. So I've got a bit carried away really. Here's some other ones. This is probably one of my favourites. Where is it? This sort of, but how do I go from one colour to another to another? Well, I'll show you. And of course, if you want to buy my downloadable video of Chalkboard Art, you'll find it at my website, of course, which is down below here, and it's in the notes underneath. So let's get doing some calligraphy. Okay, let's have some fun with these Pentel parallel pens. I'm doing the magic off camera. Pentel parallel pen. Okay, let me let you in on the secret. First of all, I'm holding the pen. There's a notch on one side, and I'm keeping that to the top. I don't know if they are reversible, but yeah, I'm keeping that to the top. So this is the red pen with the red ink in it, and you'll see that that's the thin and that's the thick. They have a lovely flow to them, and this is just regular printing paper A4, and you can get a lovely flow to these letters. I'm not going to go into the lettering styles, but for instance the E, you could do that, or you could do that, or you could even do that. Let's do, or you can do very simple, or you can do all sorts of things. Okay, what I'd like to show you is that you can also not only use the pen with the nib just nicely sat on the paper surface. Somebody else who couldn't use these was having a go, and they were twisting it, and it says on the instructions in fact that if you do a bit too much on one side you get that's pushing on the right, sorry, and that's pushing on the left, and you get a sort of a jaggedy edge which you might be able to use, but if you're not careful, and you've got to have a flow to it. And that's an interesting line too. If you pull down and pull off either one side or the other, you can get some interesting effects. Watch this. Which is quite a nice idea in itself. Be creative is the spice of life. Now not only can you use the pen flat like that, but you can also use the very corner here. So it's quite effective. Let's say if you wrote this. This is with the corner. It's got a nice flow to it too. So you can easily use that, and you can go from, indeed, if I'm doing the letter N for instance, I might want to do that. Let me show you that once more. So down to the thin, lift, go into the corner. So you go from a thick down to a thin line, and the thin line is very thin. It's likewise with the H. You might want to do that. The other trick which was on there was, which I rather like, is this one. Just a flick down. If you're doing letter F, let's say, or an E. Let me do that E again. There's lots of different effects you can get with it. How do we get to go from one colour to another? This is the trick. It's very, very clever. Right, I would advise you, it doesn't matter really, experiment. Get the pen the right way up. If you hold, this is the yellow pen. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to get the red pen and then just touch. You can even touch to one side, but I'll do it in the middle at the moment. Touch the red with the yellow nib. And what's happening now is the ink from the top pen, which is red, is going into the bottom pen, which is yellow. And so it's filling this nib with red ink. And there's still yellow to come. So this should now write red. There you are, nice and red, slightly orange. And as you start to use up this ink, red is used up to, now let's put go through, I'll spell it properly like in English, mind you, the Americans have a shorter way, which might be better. And now through to, whoops, through to yellow. So we've gone from red, orange through to yellow, just because I put the extra ink in the top of there. Right, to be honest, that's about it. I can just show you some examples of the work I've done rather than go through over and over again all these different examples, but it does mean you can use them for almost anything at all. And I've photocopied some of these and then reduced them, which looks good, and put them onto card to make, let's say, a happy birthday card. So let's just put happy birthday, and I'll have it move from yellow, let's try yellow through to red. So this time the red's at the bottom, yellow's at the top, and let's see if we can bleed it down into there. Now this should come yellow to start, so I put happy birthday, happy across there. Oh, just orange, that's okay then. Going redder. That's just with the corner, you see. Might want to, there's often you get a TH, so how about doing this? Of course, when you're doing this, if you're onto the orangey section, you've got to go back and do these little fiddly bits while you're there, otherwise it will start to turn red. Happy birthday. Well, it was my good lady wife Margaret's birthday, so let me put the word Margaret. Right, that's now gone on to the red. And finally, one trick left. How about this? It's the old favourite, the Zig Postman's. If you get, this is just a white, always have some tissue close at hand. And often a good idea to just have a practice on some of the paper nearby. Make sure everything's okay. Yeah, that looks good. How about to decorate this a little bit? Let's put some white dots on with a Zig Postman pen, which I use for my chalkboard work. There we are. So that sort of goes from yellow orange, maybe from red to yellow is better, but I think that's about it. I'll show you some of the other examples of some photos